Hey Simmers, it Sims Freeplay Design Heaven here. I'm back again for Halloween! Happy Halloween, guys! I've said this in a previous video, but Halloween is one of my favourite holidays. We don't really celebrate it too much in Australia. I mean, it's around, but it's not like in the UK or the US, but I love it so much. So what I have done as sort of like an exciting thing to do on Halloween is I've built Bates Motel. So this is the hotel from the movie Psycho, or some of you may have seen the TV show Bates Motel. I have loved the movie Psycho for a really long time, and I am completely obsessed with the TV show Bates Motel. If you like sort of like psychological, really well acted TV shows, seriously watch it. Season 3 especially is the best season out of all of them. I love the show so much. But so what I thought I'd do is I would build the hotel itself, or the motel itself, and also the manor house as well. So the house itself is actually, it looks obviously quite different to this house and the motel itself, but I've tried to model it as much as I could in the sort of confines of what you can build within Sims. So hopefully you guys will get that sort of gist of it while you watch this video, but I have loved every minute of building this. So I guess the first thing I'll show you guys is the motel. So this is the motel over here. What I might do is actually turn off the rain and the nighttime so you guys can see what it looks like without all that stuff on. So where's my weather machine? Oh, it's hidden over here. So we'll make it day. And we will blue sky so you guys can get a really good understanding of what it looks like. So this is what it looks like here. So the motel itself, I love that the wallpaper for the hotel is the outside wallpaper is this, but if I could choose for the motel, I think I would probably have preferred this color here. So I'll show you. If I could, that would be so cool if we could have the exterior of the houses look different for different, like, you know, having like this one having that wallpaper and this one having a different one. But this is the wallpaper that if I could choose, I would have done that. This one, no. This one here. So that's what I would have done the motel with, but I had to choose, and this is definitely the best one. So this is it here. So we've got Alex Romero standing out the front there. So, hey Alex, what's up? He's the sheriff of the town. So Alex, why don't you take a nap, because you did stay in the hotel for a while, so I think this was your room, so you can have a bit of a nap in that bed. So basically what I tried to do with the motel is, because obviously the movie and the TV show both have different sort of styles with how they've styled the hotel, and in the TV show it's a little bit more modern because it's set in today's day and age, but I tried to do sort of like a mix of the two. That's sort of what I was going for, probably more towards Bates Motel, the TV series, because that's kind of what I've been watching a lot of lately, so that's what really kind of kicked the inspiration in with. But I tried to make it look kind of a little bit creepy. So there's a photo of Norma and Norman Bates sitting on the bed in one of the hotel rooms that I found, and that's sort of like what I based it off of, because there's like the dark paneling wood of the around of the walls, and then the dark carpet, and it's sort of, I wanted it to look like each room is the same obviously, but I wanted it to look like it's just really drab and kind of disgusting, and you'd walk in and you'd just be like, I don't really know if I want to stay here. But they've tried their hardest to make it look nice. So they've put the little like sunflower in there, they've put blue linen, or the blue bedspread on the bed, and look, they're trying their best to make it look really nice, but it just comes off as really creepy. It really does. I really wanted it to feel a little bit like you didn't really want to stay too much for too much time in this hotel, and there's like grimy bathroom and like disgusting stuff in there. But I did have a lot of fun kind of veering away from what I usually decorate, which is so, I tried to make everything look nice, whereas this is kind of like, I was very happy to make it look a little bit kind of gross. Then we've got the office. So at the end here, that's where the office is. So this is because Norman in the TV show is the manager, and he is also the manager in the movie. So this is Norman's, I guess, the reception desk where they come in, and I'd imagine like this bookshelf is sort of like, I'd assume where all the pamphlets would be. So that was sort of like the idea behind that. And then there's the office there, and then so if we go out the back, this is his official office and sort of like sitting room. So in the movie, this is where he sits, and this is the painting here that he looks through into apartment number 1, or unit number 1. So it's a little bit of a homage to the movie, but I put a lot of the fish up on the wall, and I tried to put as many animals in there because Norman does taxidermy. So I wanted it to look like there's a lot of taxidermy on the walls as well. So that was that. So that's the motel. This is the motel. I mean, there's nothing too exciting. You get a little cleaner's closet at the end there. I put the posts there, even though technically they're not holding up anything. I put those posts there because there is posts in the hotel, so I wanted it to look as realistic as possible. And if I could, I'd extend the roof so that it would go over the posts. Maybe one day the Sims will do that for us, so we could have sort of like an undercover area on your first floor. But yeah, so that's the motel. I put this sign, this fence here, because I thought it would represent the sign, the Bates Motel sign. I know that's ridiculous, but that was kind of the thought process behind that. Now, obviously, with the house, you go up a whole heap of steps, and it's sort of like on a hill up from the motel, and I couldn't really create that on a lot, especially because the house had to be so close to the motel itself. So what I did instead was I built the first floor of the house on the second level, or if you're, depending on how you describe it, so I'd say the first floor is the second floor. Anyway, it's a bit confusing, but I've done the entryway to the house upstairs instead. So it seems like if you follow this path here, hang on, I won't be able to because here we go. So if you follow this path here and then you go up the stairs, I've tried to replicate the stairs in that sense. So the actual front door of the house is on the first level if you're from Australia, and I think in America they call it the second level, so on the second level of the house. So let's actually have a bit of a walk in. So it's got the same sort of patio porch area, I guess, I tried to recreate that as much as I could that they have on the TV show and the movie. So, and then if we walk in, we've got just a little corridor here, which I really had fun with these wallpapers. A lot of these wallpapers I actually haven't used in many of my houses, if any at all, and I had so much fun. I literally loved every minute of using these wallpapers. So we've got the lounge room onto the side here, so we've got Norma and Norman watching old movies because that's one of their favourite pastimes in the actual TV show, which I thought was really cute to have them there. I put the piano in there because they do have a piano where Norma actually plays and sings quite a bit on the piano. I put the parrots and there's a lot of owls around the house as well, but they're alive here, but actually what I would have them in my head is they're actually taxidermied, so they're dead animals in the house. And there's another fish as well to represent the taxidermy, because that again is what Norman does in the basement, is he taxidermies, which is really creepy. It's really, really creepy. So that's the lounge room there. I've tried to model it as much as I could on the actual house, and hopefully this comes off as well. Again, there's always going to be limitations with how much space you have to use. Then if we go across here, so through this corridor here, we've got the dining room. This is probably the room that I'm not as keen on. It just, the way that the room came together, it just wasn't the right amount of squares, and then the dining table sort of like up to the corner there, and it looks kind of a bit weird, so I'm not hugely happy with it, but I think it serves its purpose. And then if we go, you can enter the kitchen through that door here or through the main entryway here, and this is the kitchen. So I really like the kitchen. I've actually placed everything, all the so the stove and the coffee pot and the toaster and the fridge in the places where they actually are in the TV show. So I really had a good think about where things should go in the kitchen, so I'm actually really happy with that. And then there's the side door exit there, which then goes down to the stairs. And the weather machine. So we won't go into the basement just yet. We'll go into the basement at the end because that's the scary place. So we'll go up these stairs here. And this is the upstairs area. So I guess you would call this maybe the first floor or the second floor, depending on where you're from. But this, in Australia, we would call this the first floor. So we've got the ground floor and then the first floor. So in the TV show, on this side here, we've got Norman's room on this side and then Norma, his mum's room, on this side. But I've decided, because it's Sims and I wanted to use a little bit more space, and in the movie, this is actually all Norma's room. So I decided to go with what the movie had and have this as Norma's room. So her room is actually quite, it's really quite nice. There's a lot of French furnishings. You've got the sort of I think that's like that came with like the royalty bed. It's like a year old royalty bed. I got the idea of using this table in the chair and the roses, this whole setup right here from Make 2. So thank you so much, Make 2. And I'll put it was one of the Charleston houses, so I'll put the link up above right now with the suggested videos, so you guys can check that out, because it's awesome. But I got this ensemble here from Make 2, so thanks guys. And yeah, so this is Norma's room, and so when because Norma dies in the film, Norman kills his mother, and he taxidermies her, and he keeps her in the house in the basement and also in her room, and he sort of blacks out. He has multiple personality syndrome, so not multiple personality, but he thinks he's Norma, basically. So I thought I'd put a photo of Norma up here, because Norman would be creepy enough to put a photo of her in there. I thought that would be kind of funny and gross to put that there. We've got the bathroom here, which is where the actual bathroom in the TV show and the film is. So it's just pretty plain, pretty simple in there. Then if we go off to the side, this is where I've kind of skewed from both of those. This is Norman's room. So I tried to make it as just plain and simple as possible, because he doesn't have a sense of true self. He's kind of like, he is Norman and Norma. That's who he is. He's not just Norman by himself. He sees himself as part of a duo, and that's what his identity is. So that's sort of what I wanted to create in here, is have it quite bland, like he is not his own person in a sense. And then there's a study towards the side here as well. So I've got one of the owls there, which again would be dead and taxidermied, which is gross, but run with it with me, guys. So again, very bland colors, very simplistic. And then if we go up towards the side here, there's exits to the attic. So if we go up here, entry into the attic. And the attic is for storage, as well as there's another bedroom up here, and a computer. So this is Dylan's room. So in the TV show, Norman has an older brother. So Norman has another son, and his name is Dylan. And so I decorated his room with quite new furnishings, and there's not much in there, because I wanted it to feel really different from the rest of the house, because Dylan is really separate from the other two. I mean, we're into season 3 now, so he's actually, they have a better family dynamic, but he's not crazy like the other two are. Not that Norma's crazy, but she has crazy elements. But yeah, I wanted it to feel a little bit like, he's got the computer there. It is an older computer, but I wanted it to feel a little bit more modern, a little bit more removed from what their life is. Now, I have to kind of let you guys know that in the TV show, Norma and Norman moved to the Bates Motel, and they had previously lived elsewhere with Norman's dad, and he passed away. Norman kills him. Spoiler alert. I should have said spoiler alert before that. Apologize if anyone hasn't seen that, but it's not that too much. It's not kind of like, you can kind of guess that from knowing that he's psycho. But yeah, so what I thought I'd do is, with this attic, there's kind of like, there's a bit of a thought process that I went in with the attic. So this is the attic area here. And in this part here, I've got everything from the motel. So this is all the spare stuff that they have left over from the motel. So if they need to replace anything, there's an extra sink, chest of drawers, the same sort of couches, all that kind of stuff. So this is their spare stuff for the motel. Then in this part here, this is the spare furniture that they have from the house. So I think when they bought the house, it was fully furnished with all the older sort of furnishings and, the beautiful, like, early style, I guess, furnishings were in there. So this is the leftover furnishings that potentially they had taken out because they put their own furnishings in. And then on the side here, this is all the stuff left over from their old house that they didn't put in the new house because they wanted it to keep it nice and old and keep the age of the house, kind of alive. And so they put all of their old stuff in here. So there's like probably this was Norman's little rocking horse, and there's a guitar and a little bit like a newer TV and stuff like that. So that was the idea behind the attic. And then this door here leads into what I would suggest is the eave. So it's sort of like a really small, tight space where you can't fit too much in, and there's only like a little door into it, and it's probably looks more like a cupboard. And so that's why I put it black and made it black, because I wanted it to seem really sort of old and little. I wanted the space to feel little like an eave would, and there's only small things in there. But I also wanted it to be black. Those windows to show black, so it looks like the top of the actual Bates Motel is black. So I wanted it to seem like I've tried to create a different color scheme up there. I don't know. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but that's what I was going for with that. So yeah, so that's the attic and Dylan's room. So we'll go back downstairs, and I really, really love all of this, like the dark wood and the different wallpaper, because like I said, I really don't use this furniture or this style very often, and it was so beautifully refreshing to decorate a house like this. But if we go around the corner here, we can see that there is a basement, and this is where all of the fun happens. So this is downstairs into the basement. Now, this is not modeled on the TV show or the movie at all, because it was quite an awkward space to decorate. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go with my own mind, and yeah, and that's just, I'm just going to recreate it myself, basically. So down the bottom here, we've got just like a storage area for Norman and Norma. Then there's the laundry. So there's a bit of a laundrette down here. And then if we go through this door here, this is where he does the taxidermy. So it's so gross. So this is basically where he stuffs dead animals, which is so gross. But it's Halloween, so you guys have to run with it. And I've got the little windows there, because that's sort of like what basements have these days, is like the windows where that would actually probably be floor level up there as well. So you'd be seeing people's feet walking past that if you're looking out that window. But I used the stone countertops there because I thought that would be a little bit creepier down here, and I put the food the food tray there because I thought it could be like, I don't know, some preparation thing for doing taxidermy, and then obviously the workstations as well. So hopefully you guys get that feel that it is, and the fridge is there as well, so there would be like the freezers that he would put the dead animals in. But yeah, so guys, that's my Bates Motel. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you kind of get a sense of what it is. Even if you haven't seen the film, hopefully you get a bit of a creepy vibe from this house. I really enjoyed doing this. I think I was again inspired by Make 2, because they've been doing a lot of houses based on designs that they've found either online or different things like that. So props to them, because obviously they're a huge inspiration for me. But I really love the show, and if you do watch Bates Motel, it starts off slow with season 1, but it really is a ripper once you get to season 3. It's amazing. I love it so much. I'm pretty much obsessed. Love Alex Romero as well, the sheriff, so look out for him. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you have amazing Halloween, and I will speak to you soon.